Welcome back to our financial literacy course. On today's topic, we're going to discuss our needs and our wants. So let's go ahead and get started. Some of us may have a laundry list of our wants, but we're going to focus on our needs, which are on your left-hand corner. We're going to go ahead and go over what are some of our needs. Well, our needs are food, of course, to sustain ourselves throughout our college career. We're going to actually focus on having supplies for our education, such as books, maybe actually getting a laptop to help you with some of your projects, but also living. We have to make sure we take into account your living situation. And this example here, I've actually chosen this one because sometimes you might want to live alone, and maybe that's your priority. However, we also need to take into consideration that sometimes having a roommate might reduce some of that cost. So that is something that I want you to keep in mind when you're looking at your needs. Also, what are ways for you to cut costs on there? What do we want? Of course, everybody wants to go shopping, right? We want to splurge on shopping. We want to have movie tickets. We want to have concert tickets to go out and have fun. But of course, we would want fancy dinners. If you're not a meat eater, maybe you'd want to go to a fancy dinner, have some of the best gourmet food. For those of us that love steak, we'd love to have steak almost every day, of course, right? But we have to take into consideration our needs before we even consider what our wants are, or even spend on our wants. Student aid programs. Well, earlier in our first lesson, initially, we talked about financial aid and what financial aid entailed. And we talked about grants, how they are free money. You don't ever have to pay those back. But in today's topic, we also want to talk about student loans. Student loans are some type of financial aid assistance that help you with your educational expenses. We want to make sure that we always use financial aid for educational expenses and nothing else. So in this situation, on this chart, you will see our direct subsidized loans. Direct subsidized loans are loans offered to students that have need. There is a 6 months graduation after graduation repayment option, and subsidized loans are for students that, of course, like I said, demonstrate need, but the government pays the interest while they're in school. Unsubsidized loans do not have to demonstrate need, so no matter how much the student or the parent make, they will still be eligible to receive unsubsidized loans. They also have a 6 months after graduation repayment period. However, unsubsidized loans are growing during the time that you are enrolled at an institution. So these actually do not get paid by the government, the interest, so the interest will grow as you continue on. Parent loans are fixed rate. Of course, the parent loans are offered to parents. There is no need base for that as well, and there's a 6 months after graduation repayment period. And there are other type of loans, alternative loans, where you can apply for private loans. They all vary. They all have their different criteria. A quick overview on student loans. We are going to frequently visit the studentaid.gov to gather more information on student loans. We're going to visit the webpage to find out a little more on the direct subsidized, direct unsubsidized loans, the loan amount limits, who is eligible to receive these type of loans, how do I even apply for these? If you've never applied for a student loan, maybe this is something that is going to spark your interest, and probably want to know what is the best loan type that I might want to possibly apply for, and of course going over the interest rates. Interest rates do vary every year, so the amounts that I shared on the previous slide are probably going to be different from what you actually gather for this new academic cycle. Questions? Well, if we don't have any questions, I want to thank you for joining us today, and we will continue on. Thank you and have a great day.